10,000 precision strikes in 31 days. By March 30th, 2026, America's stealth fleet appeared to own Iranian airspace, and a single CENTCOM post all but confirmed it. F-22 Raptors operating deep inside Iran's borders. Hours later, President Trump announced negotiations with what he called a new regime, while threatening Kharg Island and every major oil facility still standing. But the real endgame may not be Iran at all. CENTCOM's digital channels delivered a single, unmistakable data point on March 30th, 2026. The screenshot, captured directly from a government browser window, carried the CENTCOM insignia, a precise timestamp, and the phrase F-22 operations ongoing inside Iranian airspace. No tailcodes, no squadron numbers, no identifying features, just a blunt assertion stripped of the usual operational details. The absence of airframe metadata or unit identifiers left analysts with little more than a date and a claim, but the official stamp was enough to send defense circles into overdrive. The file properties visible in the browser's metadata bar matched the CENTCOM server's time zone. Embedded code revealed no image manipulation and no evidence of outside tampering. The post itself vanished from public servers within hours, replaced by a generic summary about coalition air operations. Yet the screenshot circulated in encrypted channels, prompting questions about its sudden removal and the intent behind such a direct statement. In Washington, the authenticity of the image became a point of urgent debate. The lack of tailcodes or unit patches, standard in most operational releases, hinted at deliberate ambiguity, a calculated move to maintain plausible deniability while signaling capability. The timing, just as President Trump prepared to announce diplomatic overtures to Tehran's new leadership, suggested coordinated messaging. For those tracking the campaign, this was the first hard digital evidence tying the world's most advanced stealth fighter to the heart of Iran's contested airspace. The screenshot's existence, brief as it was, set the foundation for a new phase in both the conflict and the information war. At 8:42 a.m. Eastern on March 30th, 2026, a message appeared on Truth Social bearing the presidential seal. Negotiations underway with new Iranian leadership, progress conditional on immediate cessation of attacks and full restoration of tanker passage. United States air power stands ready to neutralize Kharg Island, Bushehr, Bandar Abbas, and every major power and desalination plant if red lines are crossed. Humanitarian corridors will remain open. The timestamp, verified by multiple newswires, placed the statement just hours after CENTCOM's digital disclosure. The post named Kharg Island, the hub for Iran's oil exports, alongside critical infrastructure nodes, drawing a direct line between diplomatic engagement and the threat of overwhelming force. Inside the West Wing, advisors weighed the legal and humanitarian implications. Targeting energy infrastructure risked catastrophic civilian fallout, from blackouts in Tehran to water shortages along the Gulf. Yet the language left little doubt. The White House was leveraging the visible erosion of Iran's air defenses and the demonstrated reach of stealth platforms to force a decision. National Security Council minutes, later leaked, recorded debate over proportionality and the Geneva Conventions. But the president's message stood unaltered. The ultimatum reverberated through diplomatic channels. European envoys warned of regional spillover. Oil markets spiked, with futures for Brent crude jumping $7 within the hour. Iranian hardliners, led by Speaker Ghalibaf, denounced the statement as nuclear blackmail. Yet behind closed doors, elements of Iran's new leadership began signaling willingness to meet. The threat had shifted from abstract posturing to a concrete menu of targets, raising the cost of resistance and accelerating the timetable for a negotiated endgame. The F-22 Raptor's reputation in combat rests not only on its stealth and speed, but on its ability to deliver precision effects while remaining all but invisible to enemy defenses. At the heart of this capability is the GBU-39 small diameter bomb, a 250-pound class munition designed for surgical strikes against high-value targets. The F-22's internal bays are engineered to house up to 8 of these weapons, allowing the aircraft to strike multiple sites in a single mission without sacrificing its low observable profile. Each GBU-39 is guided by a combination of GPS and inertial navigation, giving it the accuracy to neutralize hardened bunkers, mobile missile launchers, or command nodes with minimal collateral damage. This pairing of stealth and precision means the Raptor can threaten a range of targets deep inside defended airspace, stripping adversaries of the confidence that any asset is truly safe. By carrying a full load of GBU-39 weapons, a single F-22 sortie becomes a force multiplier. 8 discrete, near-simultaneous impacts, each calculated to disrupt command, degrade air defenses, or sever supply lines. The weapon's compact size and standoff range enable strikes from beyond the reach of most surface-to-air missiles, while the aircraft's sensors and data links allow it to identify and prosecute fleeting targets as opportunities arise. In the context of the current campaign, this means American air power can apply relentless, targeted pressure, holding key infrastructure and military assets at risk, while preserving the option for escalation or restraint as negotiations progress. The technical marriage of the F-22 and the GBU-39 is not just a feat of engineering. It is a strategic tool for shaping the battlefield and the diplomatic table alike. CENTCOM's March 26 press briefing delivered a number that dwarfed even the most ambitious forecasts. More than 10,000 strikes conducted against Iranian military targets in just 31 days. Operation Epic Fury, launched on February 28, moved with a tempo rarely seen in modern conflict. U.S. and coalition aircraft, including B-52s and stealth platforms, saturated the battle space, with some bomber missions reportedly unloading up to 70,000 pounds of ordnance in a single run. CENTCOM's tally, though released without daily breakdowns or precise target lists, painted a picture of relentless, coordinated pressure. Admiral Brad Cooper described the operation as an exercise in total air superiority. By late March, CENTCOM claimed that 92% of Iran's largest naval vessels had been neutralized, and that strikes on drone and missile production sites had driven launch rates down by more than 90%. Over 2/3 of Iran's missile, drone, and naval production facilities were assessed as destroyed or damaged, effectively crippling the country's ability to rebuild or arm its proxies. Senator Rubio, in a closed-door committee session, reportedly summarized the campaign's pace with a terse assessment. Major combat operations are wrapping up in weeks, not months. The scale and speed of the strikes, combined with the collapse of Iran's integrated air defense system, left little ambiguity about the new balance of power. For the first time in decades, coalition aircraft operated over Iranian territory with near impunity, setting the stage for the next phase of pressure, both military and diplomatic. Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf took to the floor on March 30, 2026, denouncing the American ultimatum as nuclear blackmail and vowing that no foreign soldier will ever set foot on Iranian soil. His words echoed through state media, amplifying hardliner defiance, even as rumors of internal dissent swirled behind closed doors. Yet outside the glare of Parliament, U.S. force posture told a different story. The Pentagon confirmed the forward movement of the 26th Marine Expeditionary Unit, 2,500 Marines staged aboard amphibious ships in the Arabian Sea, and elements of the 82nd Airborne Division flown into undisclosed Gulf airfields. Special Operations Detachments, drawn from JSOC task forces, established rapid reaction hubs across the region. Their presence was unacknowledged in official communiques, but unmistakable in military flight logs and regional tracking data. The visible buildup signaled both readiness and resolve. While Iranian hardliners projected unity, the parallel surge in U.S. Special Operations and Marine forces underscored the credibility of Washington's threat. The posture left little doubt. Any breakdown in talks could trigger rapid, targeted ground action, compounding the pressure already delivered by air. As the rhetoric in Tehran grew sharper, the shadow of American power pressed closer, compressing the window for a purely diplomatic outcome. Roughly 1/5 of the world's seaborne oil, about 21 million barrels each day, moves through the Strait of Hormuz. In 2024, the U.S. Energy Information Administration confirmed that any disruption here sends shockwaves across global markets. The latest campaign left Iran's ability to threaten this choke point deeply compromised. CENTCOM's operational tempo, paired with the persistent presence of stealth platforms, forced a recalculation not just in Tehran, but in capitals far beyond the region. For Beijing, the stakes are especially acute. China now imports over 10 million barrels of oil daily, with nearly half transiting Hormuz. The sudden restoration of tanker traffic, monitored by Lloyd's and flagged in real time by maritime analytics, signaled that American power could guarantee or withhold the flow of energy on demand. This leverage extends past the negotiating table with Iran. It places pressure on China's long-term energy security calculations, especially as Beijing's own reserves cover only a fraction of its needs for more than a few weeks. The strategic payoff is global. By holding the keys to Hormuz, U.S. policymakers wield influence not just over Iran's economy, but over the supply chains that anchor Asia's industrial giants. Every cleared shipping lane, every tanker convoy, reinforces the message: air dominance is not just a military fact. It is a tool of geopolitical negotiation. Stealth and precision now define the balance of power over Iran. As fractured leadership scrambles beneath air dominance, negotiations move from weakness, not parity. Strait of Hormuz control pressures global rivals, including Beijing. In this new calculus, air superiority isn't just tactical leverage, it's the currency of geopolitical endgames.